Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. I would like to stop and take the time to rank all of the episodes inside of Season 5, Possession. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below your ranking of all episodes in the Possession season, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. My list is certainly not the right list, it is just my list. And also, I did promise you guys that Possession, all episodes of Possession, will be out today on Saturday. Well, it's Saturday, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Next week will be Skybound, so stay tuned for that. Like, comment, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into my ranking. 10, I have episode 3, Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones started off pretty weird, Kai is afraid of water now. I don't know how that even works, because in the earlier seasons, he even voted to swim off the island of darkness one time. So it's really weird that he's now afraid of water. Kind of convenient for the whole entire season, if you kind of think about it. And also, this episode just kind of makes the ninjas do different tasks to get what they want in a kind of Mandalorian style way. And that's not really what we're used to seeing in the side of Ninjago, especially with these 10 episode arcs. And in my opinion, it just kind of feels like a departure, not a big departure, but like a small, tiny departure from what we've come to know and love about Ninjago. And also, I like the introduction of the Ronin character. He's pretty cool. Soul Archer, pretty cool also. I just think that everything that's going on with the Ronin and the Soul Archer stuff is probably more interesting than what the ninjas are doing, helping out the citizens on Stix. At number 9, I have episode 6, Kingdom Come. Now, originally I was going to have this episode higher, but after rewatching it, I just feel like this episode is not at all that good. The only reason why Sticks and Stones is at the bottom of the list is mainly because the entire episode is revolving around the ninjas doing a task. And this one, it kind of feels like the story is progressing a little bit forward. But then we have the ninjas get sidetracked by this beast that they really don't do anything with for the entire season. So like the entire episode just revolves around the ninjas inside of this place where it turns out that these people are actually writing out the story. When I first watched it, I thought it was cool. Okay, everything happened because these people wrote it down in a prophecy. It was going to be Lloyd. And then I started thinking, how cool would it have been if the prophecy just wasn't written? It may have been written that a green ninja was going to rise above the others, but we didn't know that it was going to be Lloyd. It could have been any ninja. So you mean to tell me that everything that happens inside of the series is written by these people in this cloud kingdom? Come on, I find that a little bit hard to believe that they actually wrote out that the son of the evil Dark Lord was going to be the green ninja. Matter of fact, it's not even that hard to believe, because writers do different things like that. That little plot point inside of the episode just kind of didn't work for me. It was okay when I first saw it, and it's okay now while I'm watching it. But I think at the end of this episode, with the third act of this episode, I really enjoy it. When Mora gets a sword of sanctuary, the episode is just a whole lot better. I think that's one of the reasons why I have it above Sticks and Stones. This episode is a whole lot better once Moro gets the sword of sanctuary. So that's really all my nitpicks on this episode. Well, not really nitpicks. There are problems with this episode. So those are my problems. Once Moro gets the sword of sanctuary, it is just a fun, exciting episode from that point to the end. Coming in at number 8 for me has got to go to episode 7, The Crooked Path. The Crooked Path didn't start off as great. I think it was good once Ronin got possessed. Not when he was telling the team that you need to go to the Caves of Despair. No, I think it was more so when he got word that the Soul Archer was looking for him, and then he had to go get the Sword of Sanctuary. I think that's when I started paying attention to the episode. But in the beginning, the episode kind of starts off with the ninjas just setting up different traps for ghosts. And it's kind of weird because Cole almost got hit with a bucket of water. You know Cole is a ghost. Why are you guys setting up traps like this when one of your teammates can easily fall in? And literally, Kai did fall in. That's one of my nitpicks with this episode, is the fact that the ninjas acted so dumb. You guys set the traps. And you're telling me that you're falling right into your own traps? I mean, Zane is like the smartest person on the team. He even get hit with the traps. Kai, you were goated this entire season, and you fell into the water. You could have splashed Cole. Cole almost did get splashed. I don't even know what was going on with Jay. So that whole entire sequence where like the ninja was just falling over their feet with the traps while Ronin was getting away with the sword, it's kind of hard to believe. These are the world's greatest ninja, and you're telling me they can't stop a guy? He's a guy. And also, let's talk about Nia in this situation. You knew that Ronin was going to get the sword. Why didn't you alert the team? It is just so weird that everybody in this episode is just not thinking clearly. So then we also get a little bit of a call back to the pilots with the Caves of Despair, which I really enjoyed that whole entire sequence because it kind of felt like Indiana Jones a little bit. I mean, they arrived in the Caves of Despair. They saw Moro's dead body. I was like, okay, Moro died in the Caves of Despair. He left, didn't come back because he died in the Caves of Despair. So I was like, okay, this is actually pretty nice. This is actually a pretty big plot point that you need to pay attention to. And then we find out that the Realm Crystal is not there because the Tomb of the First Ninjutsu Master is not there. They got played, so then it just turns into like this Indiana Jones style sequence, which I really enjoyed. And I just thought like that whole entire sequence with the Caves of Despair was just awesome. And then when Ronin's wreck shows up, saves them, and then they were leaving out of the Caves of Despair with it blowing up behind them, I thought that was just awesome. So the episode didn't really kick in until Ronin got word that Soul Archer was looking for him. Everything that takes place at the tea farm, the ninjas and the whole entire team just acted not their best. This is a guy that scams people, okay? He's honestly a con artist. So why would you guys trust him around you? It's just kind of weird to me. But once you get to that Caves of Despair, that action sequence is great to me. Coming in at number 7 for me has got to go to episode 5, Peek-a-Boo. This episode is more so better for Cole's character, mainly because in the last episode he got turned into a ghost, and this episode you see him struggling with that. The whole entire team has on deep stone armor, so they're flying around in their air jutsu or cyclone do, as Jay says, and it's a pretty fun scene. And also I really enjoy the fact that Nia and Cole actually have just a friendship, just like a regular friendship where they both love each other equally, but not to the point where they want to get inside of a relationship. They're just friends, so I really enjoy that. It kind of reminds me of Supergirl and Flash a little bit, but this one is kind of a little bit worse than the Supergirl and Flash one. But I do think that Cole's arc right here is very great because he didn't really practice air jutsu. He just felt down that he's a ghost. So I think that works for Cole's character a lot. And also, why wouldn't you feel down that you're a ghost? You're a ghost. Like, literally, you are dead. I mean, you are dead. You can't touch anything. You can't feel anything. And also, it's just a pretty cool episode. I mean, they have to get up the hill, go into that portal before Moro does. So it's a nice little time limit there. We also get to see Cole do something with these ghost powers, which is very cool. He possesses a snowball and turns into like a snow monster. He also goes into Zane's mech and try to make it go faster, give it a little bit of a boost. So I really enjoy what they did with Cole inside of this episode. And honestly, the whole entire team just lifts Cole up, and that's what I really like. I like to see that team dynamic inside of these episodes. So you can see the ninjas trying to tell Cole, like, you're our brother. Doesn't matter if you're a ghost. You're still our brother. You still are a part of this team, and you still have a place on this team. That's what I really liked inside of this episode, the relationships between the characters. And also, some of the action sequences are pretty great. Coming in at number 6 for me has got to go to episode 1, Winds of Change. Winds of Change was always kind of a weird episode for me. I still like it. But I think that it was kind of a weird episode for me before I really found out how the ninjas kind of lost their powers. It was kind of weird to me when I first saw it, seeing that wind was the thing that took away their powers. And also, wind is like a newfound element now, even though Jay used it inside of season 1. It was very weird to me, but I do think that this episode is pretty good. I like seeing the team again. This is like the team fully functional. Titanium Zane is here. Everyone is here, and they're just having a great time at the beginning of this episode. It's just really cool. And also bringing in the ghost element, I mean, it's awesome. By showing a little bit of Moro, trying to bring in that mystery of like how he became a villain and how he was under the mentorship of Master Wu. I really enjoyed that. And also just with Lloyd gaining possessed, it makes for a nice little relationship between him and Kai, because Kai is the one character that says, I'm going to look after you because, your father has passed away. I've went through that. So, I went through that. Zane has went through that also. But Lloyd, at this state, he's still like a preteen, early teenager. So Kai being the one that's saying, hey, I lost my dad when I was really young. Also, I can help you with this. I can help you cope. I'll look after you while your dad is gone. That's how I felt. So it felt like a nice little big brother, little brother relationship going on between him and Kai, and made Kai still my favorite character of the series till this day. So I really enjoy what they did with Kai inside of this season, and also starting it off inside of this episode. And also just seeing the ninjas kind of lose their powers after being so dependent on them inside of season 4, just seeing them lose their powers in this season, it works for me. And also it makes sense why their powers are gone. Lloyd is the one that gave them their powers, so when Lloyd gets possessed, Lloyd is no longer there, so the ninjas lose their powers. So I really enjoy what they did with that. Just everything about this episode is very cool, starting off that cinematic level of action sequences inside of this season with that fight at the tea farm. Really enjoyed that. And just seeing Kai just fight Moro by himself, and it's also starting off that long trend of cinematics action sequences that are present inside of this entire season. Alright, before I get into my top 5 list, I'd like to take the time to say that if you are a fan of Ninjago, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that playlist up above for everything Ninjago related that I have on my channel. Also, if you are a fan of the DCEU, I am doing a DCEU rewatch on my podcast. It's called The Regular Podcast, and that link is always in the description and in the comment section, and we will be uploading Aquaman next week on Wednesday. Without further ado, let's get into my top 5. Kicking off my top 5 list has got to go to episode 8, Grave Danger. Grave Danger is an episode that I really remember because the team finally gets back together again. They use Rex to get to the tomb of the first Spinjitzu Master. We still don't know where that is, though. It's kind of like underneath the ocean or something like that. So they get to the tomb of the first Spinjitzu Master. Really enjoyed that whole entire sequence with them having to use Spinjitzu, because we really didn't get to see them use that much of Spinjitzu inside of season 4, and really not even that much inside of season 5. It's kind of the Indiana Jones style adventure where they have to go through different rooms and stuff like that. Also has a nice little callback to the Ice Age movie, and I don't even know why not a lot of people are talking about that sequence, because it's just like Ice Age, like literally picture perfect. You also get this kind of weird sequence where the ninjas kind of see their future. Also, that whole little fight scene with Moro happens. I really love that. Also, they do lose the Realm Crystal, but they do earn something greater. Lloyd, and slowly, their powers. Coming in at number 4 for me has got to go to episode 4, The Temple on Haunted Hill. I debated before I watched the entire season again that I was going to have this one at number 1, and I just don't see that now. Mainly because the entire episode have the ninjas being scared while they're inside of the temple. And yeah, I mean, greatest fears, when your fears get presented to you, obviously you're going to be scared. But they were together. Like, literally, they weren't even apart. They were together. So you're telling me you guys are all scared of, like, the same thing? You guys are the greatest ninjas the land has ever seen. And I'm telling you, Lloyd probably wouldn't be that scared. Some of that has to do with Lloyd being a little bit more wiser, but the ninja, you guys are really scared of small things. I mean, they tied themselves together. Yes, I get it. So then they can be more coordinated to work as a team a little bit more. But once you guys got that scroll, once you guys tipped over, everybody should have just taken off the rope. Like, you guys didn't have to stay together more coordinated. I mean, everybody was going to run out the door, essentially. So Cole really didn't have to become a ghost. But I really enjoyed Cole turning into a ghost because it gave a nice little shock value to this entire episode. It gave a nice little arc for his character inside of this season that should have been resolved inside of Day of the Departed, but it didn't give a satisfying arc for Cole inside of Day of the Departed. But I did do a short little rewrite of Day of the Departed. You can check that video out up above right there. The Sensei Yang stuff, that should have been resolved also. That gave a nice little mystery to the episode. But everything that I really liked about this episode has just got to go to Cole becoming a ghost and what that does for his character inside of this season. Also, I keep forgetting that Nia started her training, I think, in the last episode, in episode 3. So, yeah, she's training to be the water ninja, which should turn out pretty great going into season 6. Kicking on my top 3 list has got to go to episode 2, Ghost Story. Just like episode 4, I battled back and forth on having this one at number 1, but I had to put it at number 3. I had to knock it back 2 spaces because yeah, my number one and my number twos are just awesome. But this right here, this is the best singular episode inside of this season, mainly because we get to know more of the backstory on Moro, and it kind of made him the best villain, in my opinion, and also my favorite villain. I really like Lord Garmadon, I really like Chin, but just Moro has the more sympathetic story as being this character that was told that he was going to be the Green Ninja. He believed that he was going to be a Green Ninja. I mean, his sensei trained him, took him off the streets, trained him to be a fighter, to be one of the greatest ninjas that ever lived, and he also persuaded him that, you know what, you could be the Green Ninja. The golden weapons, they gotta respond to you because you're just my best student. You're stronger, you're determined, you're great, you come from nothing, so obviously more humility, so you can be the Green Ninja. Moro believed that. And when the golden weapons didn't respond to him, that just turned him evil. I mean, he's not even evil. He's just a kid. Imagine if you were told that you were going to be the greatest ninja that ever lived. That power is going to go to your head. And when the golden weapons don't respond to you, you get angry. Just a whole lot of things happen inside of this episode that I really enjoy, mainly going into Moro's arc. And also, Nia finds out that she's going to be the water ninja and that her mother was the master of water. So I thought that was just an awesome thing because finally Nia is becoming to be a ninja. And also it makes more sense inside of the later episodes that she doesn't really want to be the water ninja because she's already a hero. She's the Samurai X, so she feels as though, why should I have to be a ninja if I'm already the Samurai X? But just this whole entire episode uncovers so many mysteries that we had in the first episode, and also shows why Nia can't really join the team on this mission. The ninjas also learned the best way to defeat a ghost. Like I said, uncovering mysteries. My runner-up at number 2 has got to go to episode 10, Curseworld Part 2. I really like this final battle. Like I said inside of my final battles ranking, which you can check out up above also, this is my second favorite final battle, mainly because it's big in scope, it's big in spectacle, just a whole cinematic final battle to me, with the greens, the blacks, just everything about this atmosphere. This breathes like a big Marvel movie or a DCEU movie. So I really enjoyed what they did with this finale, and also just seeing Lloyd and Moro go through different realms, and even seeing Chima, seeing the Cloud Kingdom again, just seeing these different realms that we never seen before but also seen previously. It's just so cool, and it's something that I always really enjoyed about Thor: The Dark World, where you have Thor and Malekith just going through the different realms in reality. So that was just awesome to me. And also, we get to see Garmadon again. I really enjoy seeing Garmadon again. I thought it was fantastic for Lloyd's character to get to see his father once more. And also, he gets his father's robe. Now, there's one nitpick here that doesn't hurt the episode at all. Is Lord Garmadon naked? I mean, Lloyd took his whole entire uniform. Is Lord Garmadon just sitting with nothing but his underwear on until the cursed realm died? Did that happen? If so, I don't know, man. Somebody got to make some fan fiction about that. I want to see that funny scene with just Chin asking Garmadon, what happened to your clothes? And he's just sitting there with nothing but underwear on, chained up. That could have been funny to me. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said, big in spectacle, big in scope. Just overall, a great finale to this awesome season. And also just seeing Moro's redemption, even though it's not really a planned redemption. This redemption wasn't even just forced. It just felt like this is a character that wanted to be the Green Ninja, and he has to accept that he's not the Green Ninja. That's how the parallels between him and Kai works so well, because Kai, he's also a good guy, but he wanted to be the Green Ninja. He was determined to be the Green Ninja. He just didn't become the Green Ninja, so he had to accept that going into this season, and that's one thing that Moro had to accept, that he had to accept that he's not the Green Ninja, that his master always loved him, but he just was not cut out to be the Green Ninja. So he gives the realm crystal to Master Wu and passes away, dies because he got pulled into the water by the Curse Realm. I just love how this episode ends off with Moro having a nice little redemption arc, Nia getting her true potential, which should make her a great team member and a great character going into Season 6. But just overall, really enjoyed this finale, but only one can be number one. But only one episode can be number one. But coming in at my number one has got to go to episode 9, Curseworld Part 1. man, I really enjoyed this. Just starting off the bat with just Moro releasing the curse realm and just having all the different ghosts come in and just wreck Stix. Like, I honestly feel like Stix is the Ninjago version of the Glades from Arrow. Like, if you guys watch the Arrowverse, if you guys watch Arrow, you will know what I'm talking about. But I just really enjoyed just the siege on Stix, and like, this is a city filled on water, so the ninjas would never expect Moro's hideout to be in Stix because Stix is on a body of water. Ghosts die from water, so it's kind of hard to believe that the ghosts would, you know, siege on Stix. But I just love how this episode starts off with Moro just releasing all the ghosts, the ninjas, you know, regrouping, trying to get their thoughts together, how they're gonna plan and this save, how are they gonna save Stix, how are they gonna do this. And they also get new vehicles, new stuff. But also one thing that I really enjoy, this nice little sequence that, you know, every season Kai gets a vehicle. Even in season 8, Kai gets a vehicle when nobody else does. And this season he doesn't get a vehicle, and Cyrus Board just gives him a headband. I really enjoy that. I don't know why I really enjoy Kai getting a headband, but it's so cool because as Kai being the one character that actually does something inside of this entire season, everyone else gets a vehicle, and Kai just gets a headband. It's just a nice little fun thing. But also when they get into Stix, just a plan, just seeing the overall plan happen is so cool because we get Nia inside of the Green Ninja Gi. It's just the fact that the plan worked. Like, the plan happened. Like, they were looking for the Green Ninja. They found him. They thought they found Lloyd, and it turns out to be Nia. That shocked me when I first saw it, so I thought it was really cool. And also just seeing just the ninjas fight off these ghosts, saving Stix in the process. They're trying to get the people of Stix off the city, so it's just a whole lot of fun. Like I said, cinematic, big spectacle stuff to me. Everything that happens inside of this episode just works for me, and ends with a nice little cliffhanger that could rival season's 8 cliffhanger for me. Just seeing the plan just come full circle, it just works for me. Like, part 2, it has more moments, more character moments, but this is just more big, fun, spectacle stuff that I like to see inside of this season, because this entire season, every action sequence is big spectacle stuff, even the small stuff on the T-Farm. And also one thing that I just wanted to add in here, Kai's Rambo adventures. I need it. I want to see just a small season, just like a 8-episode season of Kai going on little Rambo adventures with that headband on, because it was cool. That's why I had to have him as like the little cover art for the ranking place, because I really enjoyed Kai with that headband on. So it was just really cool to me. But yeah, everything about this episode I really loved. So just starting off this episode with a big cinematic spectacle treat, not even just wasting time to get to the plot. The first thing that Moro does is just release the ghost, to just siege on Stix, just moving the plot forward. It has no wait time. No, we just have to keep the plot moving forward. That's the same thing inside of part 2. That's why it's at my number 2. But I just think that starting off with this big spectacle action sequence already, Curseworld part 1 has to go in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. You're free to comment down below your ranking of all episodes in the Possession season, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. My list is certainly not the right list, and you are free to comment down below your list. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.